I'm going, I know what I need. She said, I'm going to find that man that pronounced him into my life. I told him don't play with me in the first place. I told him don't be playing with me. I didn't ask God for no child. I had already accepted the fact that I was never going to get no child. I didn't ask God for no child. You told me that God was going to give me a child. So don't be playing with me. And God is trying to tell some of you, he ain't playing with you. What he has promised, he's able also to perform it to the day of Jesus Christ. Amen. And so because God promised it, when hell breaks loose in your life, you don't have to panic. No, she got to fix the wig, whatever. She said, honey, you want me to go with me? No, I don't need you to go. Just stay here and clean the house. I want my steak medium rare when I get done. She don't want a husband to go with her. Just stay in the house. And she got in her Benz and sped off to go find the man of God. And when she found him, the Bible story is talking about how she tells them this. He comes back and lays on the child. See, some people can't even get with that. He molested my child. He did. No. Remember I talked about carnal people? They will never allow God to move, not on in their life. They'll restrict you from moving in their child's life. So if I'm speaking over child life, I always do it over the microphone because I got sick of parents running up behind the altar trying to hear what I was saying. I wasn't even talking to you. Sometimes the kids be trying to get to the altar and the parents be following them to the altar because they're scared the kid going to tell something on them. Like the guy was doing, and he was one of molesting his daughter. She was coming to the altar to tell me. He's standing his cush lips behind her. So now she intimidated. She trying to live saved. And so here this woman go. Finds the man of God, who releases the Spirit of God back over the child's life. And the baby lives again. I'm telling you right now, a lot of the struggle that's going on, even with some of our children, is that we don't understand how we impact them. And we can be sucking the spiritual life out of them, unbeknownst to ourselves. Say, preach, Pastor Woodson. We're sucking the strength out of them, and we don't even realize that if we'll just take them to the King, take them to the King, you can influence them, you can impact them, you can change them, you can make him, you can help, you can give him unto God, and God will do more with him than in a few minutes that you can't do in your whole lifetime. Say, take him to the King. And so this woman knew something about God. She knew something about getting in touch with God. She knew how to respect and reverence and honor. I was going to deal with honor today because honor is a lost thing in this culture now. Like people was talking about Prince Harry came to America and how do you greet dignitary and all this. But yet they'll disrespect the office of the president. Can't get no help. Amen. Even if you don't agree with his policies, you respect the office. And so people disrespect pastors. They disrespect their parents. If nothing else, give merit to the office even if you don't like the person. God will bless you for giving merit to the office. Say amen to this. Amen. And so let me finish up. Let me finish up. Let me end with this. As a woman, understand your value. Understand your purpose. Make sure that your ideology that you've been taught before you got saved don't conflict with where God is trying to take you spiritually. I don't care if your mama, the Pope, your grandmama, I don't care who taught it to you. If it don't line up with God, reject it. Tell them the truth. If it don't line up with God, still reject it. And if they don't reject listening. Can I say that? Because just like you trying to get right, you better be trying to get them right. You better be trying to focus them towards God. Because let's face it, everybody's clock is running out. Everybody's time is running out. And this woman knew how to get in touch with God. You know what? There was a time where, you almost had to beg people to pray, but there was a time when you never had to. There was a time when I grew up in church, you never had to really beg women to pray. But we got it so good now that we don't feel like we got a need for God. I mean, he in college. He not saved. He running women. He got babies all over the place. There was a time when people used to mourn over their children. They didn't, I got another grandchildren. Oh, there should be something to say, listen, boy, you won't listen? Okay, don't worry about it. I'm going to take it to the king. No, you keep bailing them out of jail. Listen, I got it. I'm going to take you to the king.
That's right.
There was a time where there was wailing women. There was a time when people would come to church and it would bother them to see people getting abused and mistreated. Or it would bother them to see people that were sick. And they would be wailing for them. They would be interceding for people. Where are the wailing women? Where are the people who are crying out before God now? No, we're too comfortable now. Everything is about comfort. Everything is about rest. Rest when you're dead. When they throw the dirt on your face, then rest. Make sure you're resting in the bosom of Jesus. Rest then. As long as you got breath in your body, use every ounce of energy every day. What is your point, Pastor Wilson? Give God your all.
That's it.
Give God your all. He gave his all for you. Shouldn't you give him all? Shouldn't you give God your all? I say I can't hear nobody.
Amen.
I must be in your neighborhood because you got real quiet. Shouldn't you give God your all?
Amen.
Shouldn't you do your best?
Amen.
Shouldn't you realize that the most important thing that you can give your kid is not a new dress, but salvation? Isn't that the best gift you can give him? Not a car when he graduates, not a car, not none of that. Salvation is it. If he gets saved, you ain't got to buy his car. The kingdom comes in him, he can get his own stuff. Say amen to this.
Amen.
I want to leave you with this, and I'm done. I want to compel you today. Let me give you 5 things. This is where you're going to start, women. I done beat all around the bush. I didn't get a chance to. I done totally left my notes, so I'm going to fix it up. The first thing you do, you stay on your knees. Start with praying. Number 2, establish limits. How far are you going to go? Establish boundaries with your children and those that will try to take away from your time with God. Establish limits. Evaluate your life. If your life is raggedy, give it to God. Can you say raggedy in church? Do y'all know what raggedy means? If your life got holes in it, and if it ain't working for you, and if you always feel spiritually depleted, evaluate your life. Evaluate your philosophies. All this secular music, secular shows, all this Planned Parenthood, all this other craziness, this stuff that don't even line up with the Bible. That we just embracing and letting people indoctrinate our minds with craziness. And I ain't saying all programs are bad. Chew up the meat, spit out the bones. Chew up the meat, spit out the bones. You don't throw the chicken away because it got bones in it. Just don't eat the bones. They got the new commercial. I hate the bones. Don't eat the bones. Explain your limits to your children. And challenge your kids to think biblically. I would dare to even, I won't do it. I won't do it because I won't even do it to you. But to tell one of your kids to stand up and quote one biblical verse right now. You know what that means? You're not on your job. That's what that means. They can drop it like it hot and rattle off 4 or 5 different lines from long rap songs, and we be laughing, but it should bother our spirit when they can't even quote one verse. Not one. And you know why some of that comes? Because they don't never see us doing it. Ron told you can impact them. You know why you find so many young men, most of them are not even gay. They're not gay. They spend a lot of time with their mama. Listen to me, look at me. They spend a lot of time with their mama or women, and they pick up feminine behaviors. But they're not gay. And so if you got that, raise your hand, brother, if you ever walked around in high heels. I walked around in my sister's high heels. I had 8 sisters. I ain't gay. They be around there talking about, show them how you can do the splits. No, I ain't gay. You laughing just a little bit too hard there, RJ. Right? All right, cool. Chill out. TMI, too much information.
Yes, sir.
Watch this, watch this. My point was this, is that if you don't get them, if you got that kind of influence over a child's life, to where even the boys will emulate you and your behaviors, shouldn't you be pointing them to the cross? If they see you doing it, they'll do it. They'll do it. Our kids are getting away because our women, I understand you got to work. Most of us, how many know that they do in some cases take 2 incomes nowadays?
Amen.
These women was working too. You ain't never seen no hard work until you trying to milk a cow. Walking to a well and carrying water on your head. They was working too. We go to Walmart, and well, most of y'all don't shop at Walmart now because y'all got more money than that. But we go to clothing stores and buy clothes. They made all their kids' clothes, 8 of them. They was working too, so that ain't no excuse. And they were still training their kids up in the things of God. If the church, well, listen to me carefully. We stand. If the church is going to make any impact in a community, you know where it's really going to be led? The man might be out front, but those are his wife's thoughts. The man may be out front, but it be your thoughts. And he's doing. You know why? You know why it's important that if she's spending time and with God, it's important that you listen to her, because thy will be done. It don't matter which one of you doing it. You got the answer. My job is to listen to it. You spent time with God. I got a responsibility and a right to listen to you. I'm not going to listen to you if you ain't spending no time with God. And that's the biggest problem we have right now. Nobody